From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DBICD, Primetime Capper. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I hope you are feeling the same. It is time for the premier sports betting show. I know that it's a little late today that I'm starting with, but you know what? Pretty much it is what it is. We did sweet science earlier and everything like that, and I kind of got on a phone call that took a little bit longer than I wanted it to. So pretty much here we are. Let's go ahead and jump into it. Let's talk about what happened last night. You guys can see what's on my head. I know you guys want to get your big last on. Lakers lose last night by 27. A game that they truly weren't in after the at the end of the second half. They just weren't in the game anymore. The Lakers were absolutely just out of their wits last night because there was just so much. But AD was really off last night. He did not show up the way that many expected him to show up. AD only had 11 points, had 7 rebounds as well, too, with 4 turnovers and 4 assists. LeBron was absolutely dynamic in the first half. He had 21 points to start the game off, but he finished the second half with 2. And the crazy thing about it was LeBron hit his first 3 3-pointers, then proceeds to miss the next 5 in a row. Probably the brightest spot that the Lakers had all night was Rui Hachimura coming off the bench, where he scored 21 points. And surprise, surprise, Lonnie Walker actually scored 9 points last night in the fourth quarter. So hopefully Darvin Ham might see this and give him some playing time in game 3 on Saturday. Now, Austin Reeves, he struggled mightily. Yeah, he was 3 of 11. He had 7 points in this game. But, Austin Reeves is a guy that the Lakers are used to getting 10 or better points from. So, like I always say, the Lakers always run into some trouble when they can't get 5 guys in double figures. Last night, the Warriors had 6 guys in double figures. The whole starting 5 was in double figures, and Moody also had 10 points himself. And literally everybody on the bench last night, except for Kuminga, had 6 points or better as well. So it was a full-on team effort by the Warriors to win this game. The Warriors had 38 assists to the Lakers 27. They out-rebounded the Lakers 55-40, which is a monster surprise. They also had 13 offensive rebounds, and they did all this with Kevin Looney not even starting. Kevin Looney only had 8 rebounds in the game last night. And, this guy's been getting he's had 4 games where he's had 20-plus rebounds in the game. So, literally, he didn't even kill them last night, and they still figured out a way to lose. Now, the Lakers got 9 steals last night. They led the way in that category, forcing 15 turnovers. But at the end of the day, it wasn't enough for the Lakers to win this game. Lakers shot 40 and 94 from the field for 42.6%, and then shot under 30% and went 10 for 34 from the three-point stripe. Now, when it came down to free throws, the Lakers were terrible in that regard as well, too. Under 60, went for 10 and 7, went 10 for 17 last night. But the thing that separates these teams right here is it's simple. Another 21 three-point game from the Warriors. This time they go ahead and they go 21 for 42. So that means that they went 50% on that regard. And then they also shot 50% from the field. There's just a lot you can't do about it. Let's just keep it real. It's a tough game. And the Lakers stole their road win. They got the road win that they needed to get. So the Lakers now put themselves in a position and okay, so pretty much because we're doing PrimeTime Angles earlier, it was the sweet science. It wasn't anything that had to do with what we're talking about now. So pretty much the Lakers are in a position now where they got to be ready for the Warriors to feel like they got some type of power over the Lakers, and they don't. I just really feel that the Lakers did a terrible job last night of closing out. I'm going to be dead honest with you. And also, the Lakers did a terrible job of not getting physical. The Lakers had to get more physical with Klay Thompson. The Lakers had to get more physical with Steph Curry. Stop being so scared to get fouls. Seriously. That's why Darvin Ham is such a basic coach. Like the really good coaches, they would figure out a way to say, okay, let me go get somebody real quick to, ruffle some feathers real fast. Let me give you a great example. You know how the Lakers used to really be able to stop somebody from doing what they wanted to do when they had Ron Artest? Ron Artest would go in there and do something silly like running down the court and just throw a elbow out of nowhere and hit somebody in the temple. I'm not saying that you should go do that, but I'm saying that you need to make these guys respect you at the end of the day. You need to put a little fear in them because nobody's really roughed them up ever. And I say this because Allen Iverson was they used to call Allen Iverson the pound for pound best shooter in the league. Because Allen Iverson, when he used to have to get open, guys used to run him over. He was going through screens. He was doing all that shit to get open. But the thing was, at the end of the day, Iverson used to get roughed up. And they should not call it, okay? And I know probably in today's NBA, they'll call it and all that good stuff. But the thing is, for me, I say, okay, send in a couple goons and get these guys to understand that we're going to make it really hard on you today. We're not going to let you get this shit up so easy. We don't respect you. And that's what the biggest problem is. The Lakers got too much respect. At the end of the day, the way you beat teams like the Warriors is you don't respect them. That's how they got whooped up by the Raptors. That's how they got beat by the 2016 Cavaliers because they didn't play nice guy with them. They didn't play, oh yeah, humble and you guys are cool and podcast. No. You don't owe those people you don't owe them anything. That's what it is at the end of the day. So pretty much, I really truly feel that the Lakers have to play very tough, very aggressive. They got to stop with the pageantries and the pageantries and pleasantries. Stop it. You're trying to win a championship. We're not friends out here. Cut it out. Get physical. Stop being so scared to get a foul. Seriously, stop being so scared to get a foul. This is playoff basketball. Literally, you damn near got to kill the guy to get for him to call a foul. So, if the Lakers get more physical like they did in game one, the Lakers shouldn't have a problem beating up the Warriors. The Warriors are soft. They're one of the softest teams I've ever seen be able to be this successful in the NBA. But it's because everybody plays buddy-buddy with them. Stop being their friends. They're not anybody's friends. So please start playing basketball to win the game. And don't play basketball just to get along with people. The Lakers have to be better at that. And Darvin Ham has to stop playing favorites so much. Lonnie Walker has way more experience in big game situations than Austin Reeves. I know you guys love Austin Reeves, the great white hope and all that good stuff. He's like Caruso and, he's like Luke Walton. But at some point in time, you got to put the talented players out there, bro. What did Lonnie Walker do that was so wrong? Did he look at your wife a certain way? What did he do? Because the guy does nothing but score. And then he plays some defense too at the same time. I don't get it. I just don't get it. Tristan Thompson's going to have to get some more playing time as well, too. I liked what Tristan Thompson was doing because he's not playing the soft game either. So pretty much I think that at the end of the day, you have to put the players out there that are going to kill for you. You can't keep just putting guys out there because, LeBron likes him. LeBron's not the coach. LeBron's a player. Coach, put the right players in. Stop sitting up in here bullshitting the game. Put the guys in that are going to help you win the game. Don't put the guys in that LeBron likes to play with. It's bullshit at the end of the day. It is. Stop living in 2016. It's about making AD better. LeBron is the co-pilot here. So start using the guys that are the guys that actually can help you win the damn game, Darvin. So that's my rant. That's it. The Lakers, you got to do better on Saturday. You have to be tougher. You have to be physical. You can't respect them anymore. Let it go. There ain't no friends in this basketball thing, man, except for who's on your team. You ride for your team. And that's what the Lakers got to do, man. They got to start riding for each other a little bit more. All right, man. Let me stop. Let me move on before I stroke the fuck out. Seriously. All right. So NBA playoff preview for tonight. We got I'm gonna talk about the game for tomorrow as well, too. Lakers in tomorrow's night's game. I really do feel like the Lakers do bounce back tomorrow night, get themselves a good win, go up in the series 2-1. Then Monday, we got to see. It's all about your effort Monday at the end of the day, in my opinion. So let's talk about the Sixers and the 76ers and the Celtics. The Celtics are coming in here with the idea that, they got to get up 2-1. You got to get some advantage. Once again, you got to get yourself a road win. You don't have to win both road games, but you got to get yourself a road win to move yourself forward, to get yourself closer to the goal of advancing. So, it's really good if they can go here and try to win both of these road games, but that's going to be impossible. But they do need to solidify themselves as the dominant team in the series. So tonight they need to go all in and get this, try to get this victory. Because what I'm looking at right now with the Celtics is this: you got Tatum, who only scored 7 in the last game. You had to ride the back of Jaylen Brown to get here. So I would say again, you have to you have to still ride Jason. You still have to ride Jaylen Brown here. And then I think what happens here, you need a little bit more from Brogdon, and you're going to need a lot from Marcus Smart. But Marcus Smart is a little banged up. But I would say this: Boston's running with probably the best 8 you can have for a team running forward. So Boston played great in the last game. They won the last game by 36 points. They're really confident coming into today. But the 76ers will celebrate their MVP, their first MVP since Allen Iverson. So they will celebrate Embiid today. So a lot of times when teams have their MVP ceremony and all that good stuff for their hometown hero, the game usually goes in the favor of the team that has the MVP that night, because you play off the energy of the crowd. Or it could be a down night where the celebration became too much and you wind up losing the game. Boston's in for a very tough game tonight, but Boston, to me, has more to lose tonight than the 76ers. The 76ers have an opportunity to even this thing up in game 4. But I think Boston needs to set the momentum after the bad loss in game 1. They want to come to Philadelphia and steal the first game in Philly. That's the way to get some get back here. So I like Boston tonight in this spot, but I think the over-under here is going to be the play, and I like the over 215. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. All right, let's go ahead and move forward to our next game, which is going to be the Nuggets and the Suns tonight. The Nuggets hold a 2-0 lead in this series. The Suns are trying to get themselves in this series. The Suns were the big favorite to win the NBA championship this year or to win the West. That's kind of fell off a little bit because they're going to lose Chris Paul for the next 3 games. Chris Paul will not be available until after game 5. And I think that, the Suns will be okay without him. I think that they just had to go that moment in time without him for a moment in game 2 to get used to it. And tonight, it's going to be a KD heavy game. I feel like KD's going to make a lot of their bets. He's going to make guys get into foul trouble tonight. He's going to really be aggressive tonight. And I feel like KD could possibly give us 40 or better tonight. If you're going to play props, I would play the over on whatever KD's points are. I think it probably will be 27, 28 points tonight. So I like the Suns coming into this game. I think the Suns will not embarrass themselves at home, at least in the first game. The Nuggets know that they have to get the split because they would like to get this thing over in 5. They would love to get this thing over in 5 games. But I don't see them sweeping. That's the whole thing. But I also see Phoenix possibly pulling off a double header, as I like to say, in the words of Coach Jim Calhoun. A double header, meaning that you win these back-to-back home games that you got on Friday and on Sunday. So they have a good chance of winning these games, but we have to see how it goes. We have to see how it shakes out. Tonight, I like them. I like them with the -4. I think that that's a good number right there. I think they win the game by double digits or better because the Nuggets have breathed easy. They're comfortable, and they know that they are really good at home. That's the whole thing. They haven't lost a game at home yet either. They're 5-0 at home as we speak. So being on the road and all that good stuff, this might not be as much of a burden to them as it was for the Suns being on the road themselves, because the Suns really needed to steal a game in Denver and they didn't. But the Suns had the opportunity to even this series up, but they got to have a great game tonight to push themselves into an even better game on Sunday. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. Now let's go ahead and talk about Saturday's opening game. That's going to be between the Knicks and the Heat. The series is tied up at 1. Jimmy Butler is said to be available, but we will wait until we do get the game time. That will confirm for us who will be the man when it comes to the who's is Jimmy in or is Jimmy out? That's what the biggest question is going to be. So the Knicks, to me, have put themselves in a good spot to get themselves a good win here because Jimmy Butler has to reacclimate himself back into the series. Jimmy Butler was really hot in both the series. So coming into this one and he had to take a game off, I feel like it's going to be a little bit of an adjustment for the Heat because you have to adjust to Jimmy coming back now. You don't have Tyler Hero either. So Jimmy is going to have to play a large amount of minutes in this game. And I think that's going to be something that's going to be a little tricky here for the Heat. So the Knicks play the better defense, even though these are two very defensive teams. And I think that by the Knicks playing such great defense and the Knicks just being such a total unit, the Knicks have a lot of chemistry. They got a lot of love for each other. And I think that's really rubbing off, but the Heat got a lot of love for each other as well, too. So this is a great series. Celtics 76ers, that's more of a rivalry. That's more of a, okay, de facto Eastern Conference final. But these two teams are fighting. They're scratching and pawing. They really want to get to this next series. So this one right here is a series, believe it or not, is one for the ages when you look at it at the end of the day. Both games were very close. Games 1 and 2, and I expect game 3 to be very close as well too. So I really truly like the way that this series is setting up, but I like the Knicks a lot tomorrow. I don't have any bets ready yet because I'm going to put those out tomorrow because I want to see how the lines and things are working. But from how I'm seeing it right now, I like the Knicks to go into Miami tomorrow and get themselves a nice little upset there in that little, because they're going to be playing in the afternoon game in Miami, and it's also going to be an afternoon game on the West Coast as well too. So I think that it's going to be a lot of theater in that game, but we do wind up having probably the best game of the weekend when it comes down to the Knicks and the Heat. Two very fairly even teams on paper, and when you look at the seeds, you tell yourself, well, Miami was the division champion, and New York was second to the division champion. This really should have been like 4 and 5, you know what I mean? Or 3 and 6 or something like that. So we're actually pretty blessed to have a series that should have been pretty much a first round series here in the second round between two teams that are very evenly matched. So with that, we're going to go ahead and we move forward from there. Let's go ahead and take our first commercial break. And when I get back, we'll go ahead and we'll jump into the Blue Crew Daily. The Dodgers start a series this weekend against one of their rivals. I won't call them the arch rival because they're not that team in San Francisco, but they're playing against the other rival south of them, and that's going to be the San Diego Padres. So that should be a fun series, and we'll get more in depth into it when we get back to the show. Till then, go ahead and enjoy these quick commercials, and I'll be right back to you.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners, and I'll Have Another, and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune into Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
All right, here we are, and we are back with the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper. So let's go ahead and talk about it. We have ourselves a very, very fun, unique schedule this week with the Dodgers, and the Dodgers have themselves the Padres over the weekend, and then they come back to LA for a quick little jaunt with the Twins, who are a division leader as well too. But the Dodgers come back this week, come back around and have themselves in place to increase their lead in the division as well too, because they find themselves back in first place. Blue Crew Daily Dodgers have a weekend series against the rival Padres in San Diego. What to expect in the first series of the year? Well, I expect that San Diego's crowd is going to be loud, excited, still bringing up what happened last season, because that's what teams that have, that have little small victories in life, that's what they do. They want to keep bringing up the time when they had one chance, they had that chance to beat you or whatever. But I'm looking at the Dodgers lineup right now. The Dodgers lineup is moving pretty well. We got a few guys over the 250 mark as well too on the batting average. Freddie Freeman batting 310 as we speak. Outman 290 on the season as we speak. I would like Miguel Vargas to get a little bit better. He's at 237, but Jason Hayward, surprise, 246. And Jason Hayward has actually kind of stepped into that center field position as of late, as he's taken over pretty much, because he's shown that he can hit that he can hit. And he has 4 home runs on the season as well too. So that's pretty exciting for a guy that they didn't expect much from, but he's doing pretty good with the 256 batting average this year. But Will Smith is picking up where he left off at the last few seasons. This might be Will Smith's best season of them all. But the guy that is really standing out right now is Max Muncy. Muncy has 12 home runs, 27 RBIs, and he worked 24 walks this year as well too. So there's just a lot of things working out in the Dodgers' favor. And Muncy was really struggling, and he finds himself back into the mix of being one of the better hitters in the MLB. He has a slugging percentage of .641. So he's done a great job. Mookie Betts has been a constant as well too. I would like to see Mookie still a couple more bets, but still a couple more bases, but we'll see. But the guy that really sticks out to me, especially tonight, is Clayton Kershaw, who's 5-1 this season. He has an ERA at 1.89, and then he's also went ahead and struck out 41 guys this year as well too. And he hasn't given up that many runs either. He's only given up 11 runs in these 6 games as well too. So he's doing a great job of keeping himself consistent as he's been over the last few years and everything like that. So I truly do like where they're going with this. Now, Fernando Tatis will be back in the lineup tonight, and it looks like the way that their top three works, their top four. This is one of the more tougher groups to get out in the MLB. But you got Fernando Tatis, who's only 12 games in at this point, and then you got Manny Machado and Soto. They're playing pretty good baseball, but they could get better. They really do have some low averages right now. They're not playing they're not playing to the level that they're getting paid at. But Xander Bogaerts is still having a really good season, and he's probably the best thing going for all the high price pay guys. And Nelson Cruz has been pretty good this year as well, too. He's hit 3 home runs. He has a 296 average as well, too. So that should work out pretty good. Now, when you look at it, the Padres have a great lineup, but I still think that the Padres got to get that pitching together. But they got one of their better pitchers on the mound tonight in Yu Darvish. But Yu Darvish is 1-2 on the season with a 3.60 ERA. But, pretty much he hasn't been getting the run support that he would be getting to really win games if they were winning games. So right now you have a San Diego team that's kind of going through the motions. Yes, they're 17-15, but they could easily be much worse than that. They're not playing great baseball, in my opinion. But that's just because it's still early and they're trying to find their groove. And once they get back Musgrove full time, then that should be something that helps their team move forward and be the Padres that we all know. So with that, I would say tonight is going to be one of those games where the Dodgers figure out a way to win this one because they got revenge on their mind. They're still thinking about what happened last year, losing that series. That was heartbreaking for me because I was going through a whole lot at that time, and the person that really loved the Dodgers the most, I lost. And I thought that they were going to do us the favor and win one for Pops, but they did not do that. So pretty much, I think that they got to get some get back for us tonight over here in San Diego because that was an embarrassing series at the end of the day. So it should be a good game tonight. I actually like the Dodgers to win this game tonight, but it's going to still be a tough series this weekend. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But let's go ahead and move forward and talk about our MLB Friday night. We got ourselves a few games that I got here on the bill. I got some really good matchups, though, I feel like, that we had tonight. And up first, it's going to be the Red Sox and the Phillies. We got the Red Sox coming in here 19-14. You got the Phillies coming in here 15-17. Both these teams are, they got big aspirations for this year. Phillies are looking to try to win the NL East. The Red Sox are trying to figure out a way to stay competitive and get back to the playoffs. Chris Sale, their high-paid, high-priced pitcher, will be on the mound tonight. He's 2-2 on the season with a 6.75 ERA. He's still working himself back into, game shape and everything like that. But he has 35 strikeouts over 10 walks. Zach Wheeler, who's one of the better pitchers for the Phillies, is going to be on the mound tonight with he has 41 strikeouts on the season over 11 walks, and he's done pretty well in his last 2 starts. He actually has only given up 3 runs in those 2 starts and struck out 18 and only gave up 6 hits as well, too. So he's coming off his best pitching performance of the season against the Astros in Houston. And that's what I'm talking about, where he had 6 shutout innings in that game, striking out 7. And he was able to cut his ERA down as well, too. So that's something that you look at that's kind of critical coming into this game. Now, Chris Sale, on the other hand, Chris Sale is still trying to get himself back in the groove. He had a great game against Minnesota, but he did not fare into the decision. He actually struck out 11. Last time out against Cleveland, he gave up a run, but he struck out 5 in 6 1/3. He wound up not being a part of the decision. He actually was a part of the decision for that one, and he won that game on the decision as well, too. So today, he's trying to get himself above 500 in the pitching game, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. But with this one tonight, I really, truly feel that this game will go over. I think that we're going to get some hitting here in Philadelphia tonight. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into our next game. That's going to be what I feel is like the game of the day. We got the Braves and the Orioles, and the Braves coming in here with the best record in the National League now after the Pirates got swept in Tampa Bay. And I'm not surprised by that because we all knew that eventually the Pirates were going to come back down to earth, and now they have came back down to earth. Now the Braves going here against the Orioles, a 21-10 team. The Orioles are playing out of their body right now. The Orioles are actually the second place team in the AL East as well too, and they hold the second best record in the AL East as well. So the Baltimore is on one this year. They've also won their last 7 out of 10 games. They haven't really struggled at all this year. And when you look at their stats and everything like that, this team is really good. Ryan Mountcastle is having a hell of a season right now. He's hitting 8 home runs, and he has 26 RBIs on the year as well, too. Then you have Adam Frazier having a great year as well, too. 3 home runs to 10 RBIs this year. And then Mateo, he has 6 home runs on the season. And then my favorite, a guy that I really like a lot, Cedric Mullins. Cedric Mullins has 11 stolen bases. He's pretty much the engine that makes this thing go. And, you know, he has a 245 average, but he does everything so well. So Cedric Mullins has been big. Santander's been big this year as well, too. But the biggest thing about this team is that they got good pitching. That's the whole thing. The pitching has been able to hold them down. It's been able to back them up, especially with Gibson on the mound as well, too. Gibson has been really good this year, Kyle Gibson. But tonight, Creamer's on the mound, and Creamer has not been that good. He has a 6.67 ERA this year, and he just ran into some really like shaky moments in games. So that's why it looks like the ERA looks like that. But usually he's getting the best. He's usually going against the best pitcher on the other side. And sometimes, you know, guys are just really prepared for what is coming. And that's exactly what has happened to Creamer. Now, when I look at his last few games, he gave up 5 runs, but he struck out 6 against Detroit. His best game of the year was against Washington, where he struck out 6, gave up no runs. But other than that, he's given up 4 or more runs in each of his starts. So that's something that Atlanta's going to probably be licking their chops for. Now, Max Fried is one of the best pitchers in the MLB right now. Max Fried is up here with a 0.45 ERA. Yeah, he had a little bit of a sluggish start to start the year, but since then, he's had 4 games where he gave up no runs. Okay, so over his last 16 and 2/3 innings, he has given up 0 runs, has given up 10 hits, and actually has struck out 16 in that process. So he's playing very good baseball right now, and it's very careful baseball as we speak as well, too. And he stepped it up, and he's doing a great job. I think tonight the Braves get themselves in the right spot, in the right position, and get themselves a nice win here. And I like the Braves tonight with the -1.5, and we'll be getting even money on that bad boy. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. Let's go ahead and jump into the Nats and the Diamondbacks. Now, the Nats are coming into this game winners of their last 2. Let me make sure I'm all the way right. But I know they won yesterday because me and my clients had them as our dog bet of the day. They cashed out at +165, and I took them on Corbin Day, so you know I wasn't tripping. But today, Josiah Gray, one of my favorite pitchers in the MLB, is on the mound. He's 2-4 on the season, and he has been absolutely lights out after getting shellacked against the Braves on April 1st. But ever since that point, he hasn't given up more than 2 runs in any of these games. Now, since that time, he's actually only given up 5 runs in total. And he also was able to have 6 scoreless innings against the Mets that yielded him a 9 strikeout game as well, too, that actually helped them win that game as well. Then Josiah went in there and pitched against the Pirates, and he did a damn good job against them as well, too, only giving up 1 run in the process, and he wound up striking out 6 that day. So this guy is just getting better and better and better. He has a 2.67 ERA. He started the season off with a 9.00 ERA. Now he's sitting at 2-4. He did drop the first 4 starts of the season, but you have to understand he wasn't getting any run support. So when he does get run support, he's one of the best. It's tough. He makes his team that much better when when they have run support. So they're going to be okay. They're going to be all right as the future progresses. They got Gore, who's going to be another really good pitcher as they go along. They're building something here in Washington. It's not going to be a right now thing, but you look over the Beltway and you see what the Orioles have done for all these last 5 years or so. You start to tell yourself it's okay. It's okay to build. You have things to build with, and you got assets to move as well too. So Josiah Gray, today, I got a lot of confidence in you to keep doing what you're doing, and I got so much confidence in you today. I'm going to make the Nats once again the actual total MLB dog bet of the day. Yesterday, they were my client's dog bet of the day. Today, they'll be the dog bet of the day because I truly do feel like the Diamondbacks are starting to come back down to earth. Merrill Kelly's a great pitcher. Merrill Kelly had a great start last time out against Colorado, but he had a shaky start the start before that against San Diego, and that's kind of been his season this year where he'll have a really good start, then he'll have a really bad one. So and they're not really bad starts, but they're just not – he's given up a lot of hits, and he's given up runs in the process as well too. And I feel like when you have a team like the Nats who are coming into this game and they're hot, they've been playing good baseball, they've won their last 4 out of 5 games as well too after having such a slow start to the year, they are the better team in this spot, and it's just really that simple. You know what I mean? So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out, but I trust the Nats in this spot, and let's go ahead and get this bad boy home, and that's going to be our MLB dog bet of the day. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about our next game, our final game, the Astros and the Mariners. And this is not going the way that a lot of us predicted it would go with these two teams. You would have thought that the Astros and Mariners would be right beside each other with their. You would think that they were right beside each other with the way that the way that we put all these expectations on both teams, but it's not working out that way. They really are having to fight for everything. But Houston could be pretty satisfied. They already got a World Series, and they didn't re-sign back the key guys that they needed to try to win another World Series. I told you guys that from day one as well too. So pretty much with that, I would say Hunter Green's strikeout rate today should be able to hit. I think Hunter Green is due to have 10 to 12 strikeouts today because they're going against the lowly White Sox. The White Sox are an absolute joke right now, and Lance Lynn is on the mound. All right, so Luis Castillo's having a good year. He's 2-0 on the season, though. So he's not faring into a lot of these decisions, but he hasn't had a game where he got really banged up too bad. And last game out, he had 4 strikeouts against Toronto on the road. And the game prior to that, he actually had 8 strikeouts, but he had 7 hits and gave up 3 runs. But he's had 3 games where he kept things scoreless in those games as well, too. And you know that he's the ace of the staff. So there's a lot of things that work out into his favor tonight as the starting pitcher. Now, Christian Javier is playing a little bit better at this point. He struggled to start the season. He's had his struggles, but he's trying to right that wrong tonight. He was decent in his last game. He struck out 6, gave up 3 runs, gave up 7 hits in that spot. But the game prior to that, he was really good against a really good Atlanta team and actually struck out 10 there. So when I look at the way that these two teams coming to the game tonight, I like the way that it sets up for the Astros, for the Mariners, who've won their last 4 in a row. The Astros have lost their last 3 out of 5, including 2 in a row to the very lowly Giants. So it seems like they've been really good on the weekends on the road this year, the Astros. So you really can't say, okay, I'm going to just automatically fade them because they've lost 2 in a row. And they are the defending world champions as well, too. So with that, I think what happens here is that we have ourselves a really, really fun game tonight. And I think what I can do here is say this. I can say that the Astros keep this thing close. They may not win the game, but we'll have ourselves a one-run game tonight. How about that? Okay. And I like the plus 1.5 tonight on the Astros. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. When I get back after this commercial break, we'll go ahead and we'll jump into Talking Tickets. So you guys make sure to stay tuned. This is the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper.
Now you and your friends can compete in the sport of kings and win big with Stable Duel. Get the app, pick your horses, and get in on the thrill of horse racing with daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash, and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, here we are. Let's go ahead and jump into it. We have ourselves the MLB PrimeTime PK6 50-1. We have the over 8 with the Red Sox and the Phillies. We have the 1.5 tonight with the Braves plus 100. We also have the under 9.5 with the Rangers and the Angels tonight. That should be a good spot for us as well too. We have the Dodgers money line tonight minus 115. Also, Nats, as I said before, our dog of the day at plus 155. And then we wrap it up with the Astros at the minus 185. But the Astros are also some dog money for the straight up win as well, too. So that's something that you can look at as well. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. All right, we have ourselves the Celtics 76ers game, 3 bets. I got the over 215 as the full game bet. For the first half, I like the Celtics with the -1. And then I feel like we'll have a tie game, or Philly might be up a few points at the end of the first quarter. So I'm going to take them with the half a point plus. So that means if we are tied, that means that we do cash the ticket because 76ers are on the plus side. And then we wrap it up with the Celtics over 108.5 team total. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. And let's go ahead and try to get all these bad boys home tomorrow after what happened last night. We got the first quarter bet down in the Laker game, and then the rest of them were just an absolute disaster. All right, so we have ourselves the Nuggets Suns game 3 bets. We got the Suns tonight. I feel like the Suns kind of run away with this one. They got to get their sweet revenge because they were really close to winning game 2. They just kind of fell apart once Chris Paul got out the game. But I think it was more mental than anything tonight. They'll go ahead and they'll shake that off, and they'll get this win tonight. I like them with the -4. I think they win this game by 8 or better, to be honest with you. And then in the first half, I have the over 115 first half for this game as well. And then I also have the Suns money line -170 tonight as well in the first quarter. It's the first quarter, okay? So I'll make sure to fix it for you guys, but this is going to be in the first quarter. And then I got the Nuggets going under 110.5 tonight. They can be at 110 at the number. Just don't go over 110. That's all I ask for. All right, so there it is. There it is. There it is. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in once again. You guys are the absolute best. There is no me without you. I love talking these tickets with you guys. It's always a blast. You guys know that. And pretty much I'll be back Monday. We got a lot to talk about Monday. We got a lot to unpack on Monday as well, too. We'll be talking Lakers because Lakers do have a game Monday night. We also have another game Monday night with the Heat and the Knicks as well, too. So that should be a lot of fun. We'll have a lot to talk about over the weekend, such as the Canelo fight, and we'll also be able to talk about the Kentucky Derby as well too. Now, in my Kentucky Derby, I'll give you guys my parlay. I'll give you guys my top 4 tomorrow, my exacta, trifecta, superfecta play, and my key horse. But I'll go ahead and give you guys the horse that I am going to be betting on as my winner, my key horse. I'll give it to you today, and it's going to be a horse by the name of Verifying. Verifying is going to come in there. They're saying right now he's a 25-1. Verifying will probably go off at about 15, 16-1. I'm kind of shooting for the fences. I'm kind of not, because this is a wide open group in this year's Kentucky Derby. I look forward to doing it, and I feel like a voice in my head is telling me to take Verifying. And, pretty much you guys know what I mean by that. So hopefully we can get that one home tomorrow, Verifying, and we can go ahead and have a beautiful, beautiful weekend as well too. So I want to thank you guys one last time for tuning in today. You guys are the absolute best. I have some more talking tickets for you guys tomorrow as I tweet all this good stuff out. I might even take a few minutes to give you guys my bets in the Kentucky Derby as well too on video, and give you guys some talking tickets as well too. So you guys are the absolute best. Much love to you. You guys have a beautiful day. Have a beautiful weekend as well too. And it's always a blast doing this show. So once again, this is the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles, with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper. And as I always like to say, bet with your head, not with your heart. The movement is moving, and I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.